Don't sir me, young man. You have no idea who you're dealing with.
Hello, apostate peeps. Okay, so you've all heard it, and it's true. Stephen Lett said it. When it comes to little babies, don't say,
"Look at that little angel."
More accurately would be,
"Look at that little enemy of God."
Turns out my mom was way ahead of her time.
Little enemy of God.
Clearly on this channel, I focus hugely on the indoctrination of children into the Jehovah's Witness cult organization. So, before we jump into today's Caleb and Sophia video, let's talk about Stephen Lett's most recent words of wisdom and how they tie into this whole brainwashing thing.
Let's do it.
It's been a minute, but here's a sneak peek of what I've been working on. I'm hoping you all can join me for some JW Jeopardy, with categories like Name That Cult, JW Numbers, Which is Worse and Why. So I hope you all can join me and we can discuss all things about being one of Jehovah's Witnesses. But until then, let's get back to the creepy message, those wonderful words of wisdom from Stephen Lett. Alright, so I'm going to set this up for you real quick. Basically, it is one of the intros for the Pursue Peace Convention 2022, and we'll listen to it in context, because God forbid I pull a JW. I've watched it one too many times. Not okay.
I'm pretty fucking far from okay.
Mr. Lett points out that we are all born sinners. Now, this isn't new. And frankly, I can't just pigeonhole the Jehovah's Witnesses into it because, let's be honest, we know the Catholics have been baptizing babies for years, washing their souls.
Bad baby, bad baby.
And the Mormons, they push to baptize around the age of 8. Still babies. So I have a serious issue with this. The reason being that...
Now, if we think about it, we're not born as friends of God because we're born as sinful offspring of Adam. Actually, we think about it, we're born as enemies of God. Sometimes you'll hear people say of a little baby, "Look at that little angel." But more accurate would be to say, "Look at that little enemy of God."
Right. So, this is incredibly dangerous for a couple of reasons. I think there's been some talk of people thinking that this might lead up to baby baptisms.
I'm not bad. I'm just drawn that way.
But to me, worse than that is the message that we are teaching children. Remember, kids are at these conventions. They get the same talks, the same informations, the same wonderful photos and depictions of things that Jehovah is capable of doing and what he could do to you if you don't listen. All that good stuff. Jesus, we saw what he did to his son. These kids have that verbiage in their head that babies are little enemies of God. And until they're cleansed, until they've dedicated themselves to Jehovah, they're still little enemies of God, right? If there's not enough horrors from this religion that goes through your head at night, now you know that you are in the same category as most of Satan's world. You are an enemy of God. So I can definitely see where this being imprinted into your head
again and again and again and again.
I'd be very curious to see what their numbers are next year, and I would love to know the median age. So let's get into today's video and one of the many tasks that Jehovah's Witness kids definitely participate in, and that is the door-to-door ministry. And I picked this video because, from what I'm understanding, it looks like they're heading back to going door to door. And one of the key ways that children can participate on their trek to not being a little enemy of God is to go out and service door to door and to spread the good word so that other people are no longer enemies of God.
So you're excited to go out in service?
Said no kid ever.
Do you think you are ready? Not so fast. Before you go in the ministry, there's a few things we need to go over.
Well, you look like shit.
First, we must learn the 3 P's.
The 3 P's?
Product, process, and properly managing people, right?
Yes. preparation, personal appearance, and proper behavior.
My 3 P's work just as well because A, you need product, which they've got. They've got their books. Process, which we're about to learn, of pulling other people in. And then ultimately, as a Jehovah's Witness, you learn how to properly manage people. So, product, process, and properly managing people.
First, preparation. Preparation is the first pillar of success in the ministry. Every job requires the proper tools. When it comes to tools for preaching, the variety might seem intimidating.
Well, honestly, the variety is not that intimidating because most of the literature gets discontinued once they've changed their philosophy or any of the rules that Jehovah's Witness members were previously nailed to the stake for. Yeah, I said stake. But once they change any of their doctrines, they destroy, either by throwing away or burning, now electronically with the click of a button, it's like that, so that those don't exist anymore. So there really isn't a barrage of publications and tools. I mean, I guess there are a lot of tools within the organization, but I believe they're talking about their literature here because you have to remember, they're not actually a religion. They're a publishing company. The members are referred to as publishers. And even little Caleb here is an unbaptized publisher, but he's on the road to becoming no longer an enemy of Jehovah.
Finding the right tools is easier than ever.
We have the teaching
Once you have your tools,
Finding the
make
right
sure
tools
and
is
practice your
easier than
presentation
ever.
before you leave the
Once you
house.
have your tools, make
You
sure
don't want
and
to be
practice your
prepared on the
presentation
doorstep.
before you
You
leave
are
the
well
house.
prepared. Once you have your tools, make sure and practice your presentation before you leave the house.
And there's plenty of opportunity to do this. The women do it because they're not allowed to give talks or to minister directly to the congregants. They put on presentations, normally practicing what to say when you're going door to door. And again, this starts really young. You're going to practice at home. You're going to practice during family Bible study sometimes. Certainly going to practice if anyone's special, like the circuit overseers coming to town. Oh, it's very practiced.
Now that you are well prepared, it's time to talk about personal appearance. How we look is very important because we represent Jehovah.
Which is really interesting because cleanliness and being put together appropriately, of course, is important. I would say that any organization would want their members to represent them well. However, being too vain, needing to have the most expensive outfits or the latest whatever name brand, very much frowned upon. For obvious reasons, the more money you're paying out to someone else is less money for the organization. But frankly, that kind of lays the groundwork for what their entire life as Jehovah's Witness is going to be. Very contradictory, very confusing. And a good little JW learns how to keep up.
Jehovah wants your appearance to be well-arranged and modest. What that means is that we look and smell clean.
I don't know how close you're getting to these kids that they need to smell clean.
Children, where are you? I know you're here somewhere.
It's kind of weird.
Our clothes fit well, but not too well.
Oh, all right, let's speak to that. Our clothes fit well, but not too well. Definitely no secret that the top member of the governing body, Tony Morris III, made it very, very clear that homosexuals essentially run the fashion industry and they've created tight pants all the way down to your ankles because they like to see you in them. So, if you're wearing tight pants, you're clearly trying to draw the eye of homosexuals. And what does that say about you? Not only are you now a little enemy of God, but you're a little homo too. No, really, he did say that. Let's take a listen.
It's the metrosexual look. We've addressed that in the past. We've said things about it. That's the tight suit jacket and the tight pants, better known as tight pants. They are tight, I mean tight, all the way down to the ankles. The homosexuals that are designing these clothes, they like you in tight pants.
Yeah. And on top of it, if you are a member of the organization of the non-tight pant wearing sort, Tony Morris also says that you need to step up as a man and point out to those tight pant wearing motherfuckers that it's inappropriate. Step up as a man, a spiritual man.
You be spiritual man enough to tell these young fellas, you don't go out in the ministry looking like that.
So are we really surprised that it's actually in the children's video that tight pants are inappropriate.
Our hair is done. And we aren't drawing too much attention to ourselves. Looking sharp, my son.
With them tight pants that the homosexual designers want to see you in.
Now it's time to talk about proper behavior. Our conduct while in the ministry is another way we can bring praise to Jehovah. So make sure you are on your best behavior.
I've never even seen a Jehovah's Witness kid, especially one born in, and I think we already assumed that Caleb and Sophia are born in. I was 2 and 3 and I knew. No chasing waterfalls. My dad would have beat my ass. I mean, maybe not right there. Right there, he just would have got a couple of knuckles to the back of the head.
Avoid talking or laughing loudly. Playing around.
You want to have on like your spiritual cloak, your spiritual personality when you're going door to door. Even when you're walking in the street from one house to another, there's no goofing around. You don't stop and pick up a rock. You stop and pick up a penny. I've seen the arms being squeezed on the back. I've seen the ear pulling, the nape of the neck hair, all kinds of little forms of child abuse that people don't think anyone sees.
Or intruding on anyone's property or privacy. Also,
He's a peeping Tom.
no eating at the door.
Basically the same rules as any other salesperson, because remember, they're salespeople. And they're not selling their publications anymore. We used to have to charge them. They give them away for free, but they're selling the idea. They're selling the concept. They just need to get you to invite them in so that they can wrap up the deal.
Remember, when we go door to door, people see us. And good behavior gives a good witness.
A good witness. So it's not even about, and I know I'm beating this horse to death, it's not even a focus about being, responsible or being orderly, like any kind of behavior that you would expect from your kid if you're going anywhere from like a restaurant to the grocery store to the movies. No, this is just about being a good witness.
We would never want to give anyone a reason to find fault with our ministry.
That's exactly it. Do not give them reason to find fault with our ministry, because anything you do that looks embarrassing, inappropriate, anything that can put just one little piece of doubt to you representing Jehovah can potentially lead to losing future members. So don't fuck it up.
Can I go out in service now?
Said no kid ever.
Yes, looks like you are ready. It's time to put the 3 P's to the test.
Product, process, and then eventually properly managing people.
Hi, my name's Caleb. What's your name?
Hi, Caleb. My name is...
Well, shit, I just realized that was his mother. They were just practicing. Alright, guys, that's all I've got for you. I'll be announcing Jeopardy soon. Hope to see you there. And until then, I will see you next time.